Wesley with you on this Friday afternoon, the 26th of August. Thank you so much for your company. I wonder whether you fancy a non-stop bike relay from one end of the country to the other. Well, 4 men from Bristol have set off from Land's End today. They're doing it for a very good cause to raise money for life-saving treatment for their friend. They claim they're not professional bike riders, but they decided they'd give it a go and give it all they've got.
South West and North East, the two extremes of the UK. To travel between them from end to end is 882 miles. It's a classic long-distance cycling route and a rite of passage for many. A good rider can take 8 to 10 days to cover the distance, but we're going to try it in just 62 hours. I'm Darren. Me and a team of 3 others decided to take on the challenge of cycling from Land's End to John Groats as a relay. Each person would do a stint of about 2 hours on. The camper van would leapfrog them, and then as soon as they reached the camper van, the next person would go. And we would just continue to do that until we reached the end. So through the night, through the day, until we did it. We had the hope of doing it within 3 days, but we really had no idea how long it would take. What I'll do, I'll let the rest of the team introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Andy, and I'm one of the 4 teammates for the Jog Relay 2022.
Hi there, my name is Ben Ridgway. I'm one of the guys taking part in the Land's End to John Groats cycle.
My name's Nick Anstra, and thank you very much for watching our Land's End to John Groats adventure video. In September of 2021, one of my longest friends, Dave Gibbs, who I've known since the age of 4, was diagnosed with a condition called glioblastoma, which is a stage 4 very aggressive brain tumour, and was sadly given 12 to 18 months to live. The NHS have worked miracles. They've managed to remove 95% of the tumour, but as it stands, it will grow back unless treatment is found. So they did a lot of research and found a treatment called immunotherapy, which you can undertake in either Germany or America. And basically, they take a sample of the tumour, they take your blood type, and they come up with a way of tricking your body into attacking that cancer, which under normal conditions your body won't do. So unfortunately, as most things, it's not available on the NHS, it's not available in the UK privately, so the guys are having to raise approximately £150,000 to send Dave to Germany to conduct that treatment.
Decided to head to Land's End the evening before we started the ride because we were going to start in the morning in the dark, so we thought it'd be nice to get some photographs in front of the sign.
On the Thursday we drove down to Land's End and stayed in an Airbnb. Andy stayed in the van with the bikes, and the 4 remaining guys then stayed in the Airbnb.
Before we knew it, we'd found the hotel and everything felt quite real. We knew in the morning this was actually going to happen. I don't think anyone slept a wink. But we had our friend John, who was going to help us drive for the first day, so he just kept us calm.
Perhaps the most common thing that was said to me before we go is, why are you going north? Why don't you go south? Surely it must be downhill, going down the country. Of course.
And that was it. The journey had begun, and so did the rain.
Good job, Nick.
Coming on in.
Damn. First leg.
See you later. Have a good one. I'm out riding, it's the first one I've done, so I still have the nerves. And then I get a phone call whilst I'm on the bike, and the guys are saying, oh, we're gonna have to reroute you. We've got a flat tyre, so we're actually at a garage. So if you can reroute to us, we'll have to do the changeover there.
It was just a valve that needed doing, and the guy there did it completely for free.
How are you feeling, okay?
We'd arranged to do a swap over at a local pub, the Willy Wicket in Bristol, where our family and friends could see us and cheer us on. And well, what a welcome they gave us. It was over the old Severn Bridge to Wales to begin our first night.
Doing a challenge like this, riding through the night, either going into the night, starting in the night, and then riding into the light, it's pretty scary at times. Often you're in territory, you've no idea really where you are, you've never been there before. It's dark, you're in the middle of forests, you've got big hills either side of you. Often it's absolutely pitch black. You can see the stars, which is amazing, but the reason you can see the stars is because there's no light pollution, and that means no light anywhere, not from anything. So yeah, pretty scary. And without becoming too sort of sanctimonious, I guess actually, as the challenge progressed, it was actually really nice to come back to a van full of sweaty other blokes, and to sort of be welcomed back in with a hero's welcome, and to fist bump and to sort of welcome a new rider on their way. That became pretty important actually, sort of as the hours passed by.
Not bad, you. Good. Right, see you later. Cheers, bye.
In the middle of the first night, I remember the van phone ringing. And Andy answered it. He was in the navigating seat in the front, so he answered this phone, and he was saying, "Oh, are you okay? We'll come and find you. Where are you?" And I remember thinking, "Oh my God, what's happened to Ben?" And as it turned out, he hit something in the road, and then he buckled his wheel, so he couldn't continue, couldn't go on any further. So I remember having to navigate down these dark lanes to try and find him. But when we got there, he was still in good spirits, but I think his bike was pretty wrecked.
There's a few things that I did learn along the way. I mean, first and foremost is probably not to cycle over giant metal brackets that you find in the road, because it will damage your bike. Unfortunately, it was when I was doing your night ride, it was going through Wales, I think from memory. All blends into one now, but I've been going through Wales, and I ended up riding over this big metal object, because I only had a head torch on, and it only shows a couple of metres in front of you. I think it's sort of 3 AM or whatever it was. I probably wasn't paying a huge amount of attention to what I was doing. And my tyre stayed completely got lots of air in it. It was absolutely fine. It was just the actual wheel buckled to the point where it wouldn't even stay in the frame. So luckily I called the guys in the van. They were no more than 10-15 minutes away. I managed to utilise Andy's bike for the rest of it. So it got double the miles, which I'm not sure he's too happy about.
On my first night, I was riding between Chepstow and Hereford, and Just by chance on the way down, we were talking about movies, and Andy mentioned that one of his favourite movies is Terminator 2. And I was riding along about an hour into my stint, came across this guy, dark jeans, camouflage top, middle of nowhere, pitch black, no street lights. And then 30 seconds later, my mind then wandered, thinking about the scene in Terminator 2, and then being chased by this robotic man. And for the next 5 minutes, I spent more time looking backwards than I did forwards. I had to pull myself together and think, you're 38 years old, this isn't real.
Come on, Darren. Good shift, Darren, good shift.
Good shift, buddy. You didn't want that, but that was a cracking job. I guess nearer to the time, training sort of for me, because I'm a bit of a control freak, revolved around routine on the bike, getting off the bike, knowing I'd be doing so many different stints throughout the 2 or 3 days. So one of the things that I really wanted to do was have a bit of a shower, but in a camper van with 3 other blokes with no real facilities, it's quite tricky. So actually, training for me revolved around practicing showering in 2 bottles of 1 litre of water, which absolutely is possible. So save the planet, save water, and get showering outside with 2 litres of water.
You can in fact wash yourself with 2 water bottles full of water. Whether you should or not is probably another matter, so that's probably one to go back to Andy. Even to this day, some of the things that I've seen I won't be able to unsee.
Tough one. There's still smiles. There's still smiles. Right.
I just got to the top of this epic hill. If I show you the views, the camper van is all the way down the bottom still. And red light. Before we knew it, we were into our second night and in Scotland.
Here he is.
Longest 3 hours of my life.
So the thing I was looking forward to the most, for me personally, was going through the Highlands. I went with Esther, my partner, last year through the Highlands by car, and we looked at all through the glens and all the different logs. There's some stunning scenery there, and I'd always wanted to cycle through some of those areas. And going through them at 5 o'clock in the morning when there's no traffic, no lorries or freight or anything, and it's just you kind of working your way through with just some nature and everything in the background. It was just a lovely ride.
I'd finished my final rotation on the bike and we were edging ever close to John O'Groats, and I handed over to Andy, and it was the last stint to finish off the ride, and it really come in a bit of a blur. It all come so quickly. We had a WhatsApp group with friends and family on it, and I could tell just in that last couple of hours, as we were updating everyone, we were sending photos, videos, people, the tension was really building towards this big crescendo where we were going to finish. It was pretty exciting. I remember I just couldn't stop smiling. Even though I wasn't riding it, it felt like we were just getting within touching distance of completing this.
The last leg for me was just absolutely amazing. I guess a privilege to ride in the final bit. I just remember getting on the bike and being really tired and knowing that I wanted to get there before the sun went down, and it hadn't even occurred to me to really check what time sunset was. Had I done that, I wouldn't have probably given it so much energy, but you're absolutely pumped up so much because you know you can make it. You've got 30 miles, and I did 20 miles reasonably quickly, and then when Nick joined as well, and I managed to catch his tail for a bit, although he was going so fast I could barely keep up even on his tail. But yeah, that was pretty special to ride those last couple of miles after Darren had tackled those hills on the sort of penultimate leg, and riding in, seeing that lamppost with your mates, pretty impressive and very memorable, and something you don't forget in a very, very long time.
Good job.
Three, two, one, go! Ah! Woo! Oh. Cheers, everyone. Cheers. I love how it's warm. Yeah.
Now that we finished the ride, I look back with huge fond memories. The sheer sense of achievement, I don't think we really felt that we could actually do it in near 60 hours. I think, in truth be told, we thought we'd do it maybe in 3 days, maybe a little bit more, but we were incredibly lucky with the issues that we had. They were very minor, and everyone put in huge stints, and doing it on 1.5 hours, 2 hours sleep a night was an incredible achievement.
Too many memorable moments on the jog. There really, really were. So much banter with the guys in the van all the way. I don't think there was one single moment where actually we fell out at any point, which, given how tired we were and the fact that we probably slept for about 5 hours across 2 nights, is pretty remarkable, really.
What started off as a challenge actually became a lot more of an adventure with good friends and good fun, and just really happy memories of it.
I remember more the sort of the laughs and the jokes that we had more than the riding, the daft things like Andy showering on the side of the A roads.
Thanks so much for everybody who supported, from those who helped out with the physical challenges, my wife Charlotte, and all the other partners of the guys who held up the fort while we were off gallivanting around in the middle of nowhere, going north in the country. Just a massive thank you.
So now that our fundraising sort of endeavours have now finished, we've almost raised £9,000. We're about £140 short of that. So if anyone watching this video wants to donate, please have a look at the link below. But I just want to say some big thank yous. Thank you to the girlfriends, wives, and close family for all the support they've given us. Thank you to my mum, her friends, Liz, Sarah, for the ice cream sales, the cake sales, the pizza events that we did they did on both the 24 Hours and Land's End of John O'Groats. That really did boost the fundraising. So thank you very much. Another shout out to John Davis, who gave a lot of input in terms of route support, other Land's End events that he's done and advice, and then helping us drive the first leg. But ultimately, thank you ever so much for everyone that donated. You know, we wouldn't be at £9,000 without your kind donations. So it really means a lot.